Welcome back into Cougar Sports Saturday here on KSL News Radio, your legacy home of the BYU Cougars. Mitch Harper here with you. Hope all of you have had a fantastic Saturday afternoon. Appreciate all of you listening to this show, supporting the show. It doesn't go unnoticed. Let me just say that. I appreciate all of you for taking the time to spend your Saturday with us or listen on the podcast. It's always appreciated. So thank you. I couldn't do this job without all of you and Cougar Nation for always tuning in and listening and supporting this show. And these are great times right now. Those are the moments that Cougar fans dream of, where you're top 25 in both football and men's basketball, and you're now in a power conference. You're getting awesome recruits. You're in the mix for great recruits. It's so much fun to cover and to talk about it every single week here on Cougar Sports Saturday. And then, of course, on Monday nights, 6 to 7, we take your phone calls and interact with you. Those are always fun, too, on Cougar Nation here on KSL News Radio. So just want to put that out there. Appreciate all of you and for listening to BYU sports content here on the legacy home of the Cougars, KSL News Radio. Some score prediction time. BYU and West Virginia. I think the Cougars get this one done. They're a favorite, almost close to double digits. They're a huge favorite in this one. I think BYU wins comfortably in this game. I don't think it's going to be a 90-point outing offensively. I think West Virginia is a really good defense and much better than the defenses that we saw from Arizona State. Arizona was surprising, how much they struggled to stop BYU, considering how good they were in the Marriott Center. But that's a credit to Kevin Young and identifying tendencies from a first meeting and finding ways to exploit those tendencies in the second matchup. The ATOs against Arizona a week ago were absolutely brilliant. And Kevin Young pointed out that they saw some things from the first matchup in the Marriott Center that, okay, we'll learn from that and implement that the second go-round against Arizona, and it worked great. Arizona State, they performed at a much higher level than that first meeting on New Year's Eve. So BYU's been pretty good in these second meetings against teams, and a lot of that is a credit, again, to the coaching staffs, because now these teams know each other. Even when you're not preparing for them, you see, these opponents, and it's okay, you're looking at your film, you see them as well on the other side. It catches your attention. You know all the ins and outs at this point in March about the opponent. BYU's well-versed in West Virginia, vice versa, West Virginia with BYU. It's going to come down to executing and having the players to perform at a high level. I think BYU is the better team, clearly, in this game, in this matchup, and I think BYU takes care of business and gets a comfortable win. I'm going to say the Cougars get it done 79-67 against West Virginia. I think it'll be an all-around sound victory that'll make Cougar Nation feel good and keep the momentum building towards that final couple games next week in the final week of the regular season, and it keeps their national ranking, if they can get it done, as I predict tonight, in the AP Top 25 poll. And that's not the end of the world. It's not like, they finally arrived. They're ranked by the AP Top 25. But to me, that's always a validation of the perception from the outside of your program. The hoop heads have given Kevin Young and BYU a lot of respect from the jump. The national media is finally starting to realize, with that number next to their name, this is a legit team. This is a really good squad, and they've got the potential to be a really good program as well, and it sets the table for them to maybe be a preseason top 25 team next year with the Bansa, with Saunders, Kaba Keita, Dallin Hall. Goodness gracious, you get some pickups in the portal. BYU is going to hit the ground running there and find ways to add guys into the portal. That could be a squad. And when you've got that, ability to show the people that put together this poll that you've got that high-level talent to be nationally ranked, that sets you up well for next year, potentially, to be a preseason top 25 team. But you got to keep stacking them up, keep building up these wins, and I think BYU will tonight against West Virginia. Again, my final score prediction, 79-67, BYU over West Virginia. But we'll see how it plays out tonight in the Marriott Center. I'll see you there. 8 p.m. tip-off, 7 p.m. pregame right here on KSL. Check out the podcast. If you missed it, leave a 5-star rating and a review. We will be back on the air on Monday night, 6 to 7 p.m. on Cougar Nation. We'll take your phone calls, 801-575-8255, and then we'll be back next week with Cougar Sports Saturday to recap Week 2 of spring ball and also get ready for the final game of the regular season, BYU and Utah in March. Man, it's been a long time, so we'll talk about that next week here on Cougar Sports Saturday, and it's always powered by KSLSports.com.